Madness Podcast! The best of the underground! Make madness your ritual!
Time Oh, man, listen to that. Ritual Madness podcast. Hope you are doing well, folks. Thank you for joining us. It is Friday. And guess what? It is a cool, crisp. I don't know, it was like 14 degrees earlier this afternoon and snowing here in Minnesota. And you know what? Thank you for joining us. That song is the title track off of my guest, Gallowglass Scourge. I'm sorry. And what's really funny is I never really knew how to spell the word scourge until I saw it. And I spelt it like 800 times trying to do this little card thing here. So that song was their title track, Silence, which they just released today on all streaming platforms. Do me a favor, go and download this album. It is fantastic. I listened to it. It's very, and I told these guys right before we got together here that it's a very moody album. It has a lot of great jam to it, man. A lot of good grooves to it, and a very old school kind of like doomy, dredgy kind of feel to it, man. I really, really enjoy it. Also, go check out gallowglass.scourge@gmail.com. Hit those guys up if you want to book these guys, man, because I think they'd be fantastic to see live. I don't even know if that's possible. I know they're a two-piece right now at this particular moment, right? Do you guys have live players that are wanting to join you guys doing this thing too, or what?
We're looking into it. There's been a lot of enthusiasm, so
awesome. Let me run through this real quick. Folks, do me a favor. If you're looking to get some screen printing done, check out my guys over at Anti-Broadcasting Incorporated, custom screen printing, antibroadcasting@gmail.com, 612-836-9488. Fantastic group of guys over there, and they just churn that shit out over there. If you're looking for quality material, quality screen printing, hit those guys up. Again, Anti-Broadcasting Incorporated, custom screen printing, antibroadcasting@gmail.com, 612-836-9488, right over there in Crystal or Brooklyn Park or whatever. It's kind of right on the border there, right by Rostamos, the home of deterioration, basically, is what that is. Also, if you're looking to get some tattoo work done, Lowbrow Saints Tattoo Collective over in Minneapolis, Lowbrow Saints Tattoo Collective, 612-353-4755, lowbrowsaints@gmail.com. Hit those guys up. You've seen Jason on the podcast or heard him on the podcast. Fantastic guy, really, really cool. All of those artists over there are fantastic, really down to earth, really good folks to kind of hang out with too while you're getting tattooed. Just hilarious bunch of folks. Now back to my guest here, the Gallowglass Scourge. How the hell are you guys doing? Did you guys make it through the snow? Now I asked Matt, the guitarist here, and he said, I work from home, man. I don't have to worry about that shit. Where Tom drove directly to Matt's place to be able to do this, to do the Zoom chat here. And I want to apologize because what's really crazy is you guys were supposed to do the Roar of the Underground last night.
Yesterday, last night.
And it was postponed or had to be rescheduled because of a COVID deal, right?
Yeah.
Bill's wife has it, so he thought it'd be safe to reschedule instead
Sure.
of have a show up for it, which we understand.
Yeah, absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. And we wish the best to Bill and his wife and his family, and hopefully they get that crap out of their house as soon as possible. I know it's just been an absolute nightmare around the world, pretty much. You know what I mean? Shutting things down. And I know here in Minnesota, it was like economic crash, and so many local businesses had to shut down. So many local venues as well, and it's just been an absolute nightmare. And I know it's not just here in Minnesota, but we've really been affected musically and club-wise, and things burning down, and oh my goodness, you name it, with the protests and court cases and all the nonsense that's going on, and hopefully we can get through this Omicron shit, and hopefully enough people, get their vaccination, they get, whatever makes them feel secure, and we all start these like Tom said before, these numbers just hit the top and plateau and drop right off, and hopefully this will be done for till the next, what's the next letter in the alphabet that we hit now? What is it?
P. Yeah. I think it's pi.
Right.
On the Greek alphabet.
Right. Is that how it's going? Yeah. So So now I kind of asked you guys this question off the air, and we said it was a good idea to start it like this. Like, how did this project come to be? And if people don't know, Tom and Matt both play in a band called Hex Vortices, and fantastic thrash band around town, in my opinion. And I said it on this show before and on my website that I feel like you guys in Hex Vortices do not get the love that you guys really deserve, because you guys are a solid fucking thrash band, man. You guys throw the fuck down. I saw you at the North Star bar, and I know, you guys even said it wasn't your best show. I mean, you're kind of, there's really no stage, there's really no like real lights or sound there, but you guys had fun. It looked like you guys were having fun and just happy to be out there jamming. So how did this project come together?
Well, I can start. So a lot of these songs that are on Silence were stuff I had written to either present to other bands I was in, or just stuff I had on the back burner that I was working on myself. And I mentioned it to Tom one day, and I'll let him take it from there because he was pretty stoked about it.
So he sent me like an old demo. I mean, and I listened to it. I'm on having lunch at work, just sitting in my car, and I play it. Oh, this is fantastic! So I started. He goes, "Well, you like that one, really?" And then he started sending me all these others, and it's just I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Like, dude, why didn't anybody take these? And so immediately, like, we got to do it. We'll make it a cohesive album, because no matter what, whether it's different eras of, like, I don't know, you said Defiance was really old, right?
No,
Tyrant.
Yeah.
Tyrant was old.
Tyranny of
Which
Time.
became Tyranny of Time, yeah.
It's probably the oldest one.
Yeah.
And This Burden. Those two were the oldest songs I had for it.
But it's still Matt, so it's his style, and then, I interpret his playing well. He and I work really well together in Hex, and pretty much I understand his riffing. We kind of have that, so it's cool. And it sounds like the whole album was written for this band, which is awesome, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Now this the album Silence, their debut album, and it has 10 songs on there. And you said Tyranny of Time was the oldest tune, is what you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the oldest one.
Now, Tom, you said something like when he played that the first tune for you, and you started to enjoy it. You said something about it wasn't fitting, or it wasn't. It was written. Matt wrote it for something else. It didn't match what you guys were doing at the time.
Whatever project he was in, they passed on it for whatever reason.
Gotcha.
Which, great. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Now, and you guys also we kind of scratched the surface of this also off the air. Now, I know that Tom, you'd been playing with the band THOR for how many years? A couple of years now, right?
I think it's been about 5 years.
Okay.
Right out of Impaler, I went to THOR.
Okay. So, now with Impaler, you had been with Impaler for how long?
Over 18 years.
Okay. And with when the THOR opportunity came out, I know you said that working with Impaler, they really, you know what I mean, they're a well-known local band that has done things outside of Minnesota, but would you consider them a national touring act?
Absolutely. Combat Records.
Okay.
We've toured internationally,
Okay.
Yeah, there's we did huge shows. We did a lot of the metal fests. We were in like prime positions. Sure. My first show with the band was in New Jersey with Iced Earth.
Hell yeah.
God, the band doesn't go. Iced Earth kind of.
Right.
Whatever.
Oh, yeah.
The bands are on it. Dimmu Borgir, Opeth.
Yeah.
Just these.
Yeah.
I literally handed off the drum kit to Primal Fear.
Yeah.
That was my first gig with Impaler.
Yeah. Now, I don't mean to be naive or anything like that. I know Impaler's been around forever, and the first time I'd ever heard of Impaler was in the Trick or Treat movie. I was like, hey, and what was crazy about it is that my aunt used to follow the band when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was nuts because she's like, yeah, well, my friends and I are going to an Impaler show, and there was another obsession, old school like rock band obsession. You remember those guys,
Yeah.
Tom? Yeah. She used to follow those cats around, and that's kind of like, in that old time frame back there. So now with the THOR project, you had mentioned that you pulled Matt into that project as well.
Yeah, we had a guitar switch, and immediately I know the guy for the job. So we had him come in, and he nailed it. He was worried, like, well, he's thinking it's one and done. Like, no, you want in, you're in.
Yeah,
Right.
I thought I was just filling in for 3 days.
Yeah.
And Thor asked me to join even without hearing me play, I think. I don't even
Yeah,
know if
well-
he heard me play.
He respected my opinion on that.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been on me, but I knew I'd be fine.
Right. Now, Matt, with hearing that style of music, was it something that was right in up your alley, or like was it in your wheelhouse? Were you? He said you were a little nervous. I mean, was it just like, holy shit, I'm playing these like major dates and with all these amazing things, and were you nervous as shit or what?
Oh yeah, I was nervous. First time I had traveled for a band or done like a tour.
Yeah.
We sold out Seattle.
Yeah, we sold out Seattle, but
Big room.
yeah, it was slightly different. It's more classic metal, power metal. I grew up playing along with Metallica
Sure.
and Korn, and
Yeah.
so to play Thor was it was a little different, but I have a classic rock background from my dad, so it really fit really well. My solos fit really well with it, so it feels natural now, but it was a little different at first, a little nerve-wracking.
How many songs did you have to learn before you got on do the show?
I had to learn at least 15. I believe.
Holy shit! How much time did you give him, Tom?
I had a couple months.
Couple months.
Okay.
So when I joined Thor, I had like 9 days, and my first show was in Finland. So it
Wow.
was like a big festival in Finland in front of thousands of people. Testament. We wrote Testament.
Right.
So yeah, there was my first Thor gig.
Right.
And
Right.
you'll get to do those too. We haven't been able to do much of that because of the pandemic. But,
Yeah. And you
biggest
said
one,
Thor is a Canadian native, right?
yes.
So he's like locked in, or you guys are locked out, one of the two, huh?
Yeah, he's it's pretty much. We're kind of all over. John Leibel is in St. Paul. Matt's in Shoreview. So us three can get together and jam when we need to. Now, our bass player Ted is in Denver, and then Thor himself is in Vancouver, British Columbia.
Right.
So when we recorded the album, we actually recorded it and sent it. Like, it was all Dropbox,
Oh wow.
Yeah, we sent audio tracks to each other.
and it's on a major label.
Wow. Wow,
So
that's
it's funny.
crazy. Now, how did that all work out? Or did you guys have to use the same type of software or the same type of DAWs? Did you have to? How did that all work out? How does that all go from from one Dropbox to the next Dropbox? Does everybody get it all at one time and work on all the pieces and then throw it back in the Dropbox, or how does that work?
I just hit shit. You got to ask him.
Actually, Andy tracked drums for
He did,
Thor,
yeah.
so he'd be a good person to ask if he's watching. But
you did your own.
I did my own at home. But yeah, you have to record your stuff. I think we did 48 kilohertz, and I use Pro Tools.
Did you just say something in Japanese? 48 what? I don't even know what that. Yeah, okay. All right. I got you. It's a frequency of some sort. I get
Yes.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to
we're using the same frequency.
You have to
We should
remember
all
that
work
that I'm
together.
only a vocalist. You have to remember that. We don't. That's it. You know what I mean?
I'm not an expert either. I call up my buddy Zach, and if I have Pro Tools questions, he's like my Pro Tools customer service.
Right.
So.
Andy says, Andy of the Thrash Metal Studio says 1.21 gigawatts is what he said, right? Which one of you guys,
that's a mention we should do.
which one of you guys had the flux capacitor?
Well, I have a Toyota Corolla, so it wasn't me.
Right. It could probably still do 88 miles an hour, though, couldn't it?
It can. It's a 4-banger, but that hamster can work hard.
Oh,
Gets
shit.
the wheel spinning pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, there. Hold on a second here. For some odd reason, all right. You're still there. I could see you. You can see me, right? All right, it's gonna say that you're recording or requesting to record. Now I'll record the rest of this and try to through Zoom and try to like get it to work out. I don't know what I'll do. I apologize for that, fellas. Yeah, so that's awesome to be able to do that. Now that was one of the questions I was going to ask you too. Are you doing all the vocals on this stuff?
Yeah, I did all the vocals. Yep, that was a challenge, but I did them all.
So what where did you want to like, because it seems like you jump around quite a bit too. You try to do a bunch of different styles and a bunch of, I mean, you did a damn good job, dude. There's no complaints here, man. You seem like you pulled it off really, really cool.
Yeah, no, I just did whatever came to me at the moment. I would actually do scat vocals, send them to Tom. He would write lyrics and then send it back, and then I would retract my vocals that way. And it was just, I would turn on the song, just whatever came to the top of my head in the moment. So the patterns are mostly written in the moment. And Tom put lyrics to them. I wrote lyrics for 3 of the songs. So, yeah, I don't know. It just whatever I felt like when I heard the song.
What a sport. He dealt with all the lyrics I was sending him.
Now, Tom, do you write a lot of lyrics? Is that something that you've done a whole bunch before? Oh, nice. Yeah. So now with the song titles and everything like that, like how did you come up with a lot of those? I mean, were there already titles for some of them? I know
some of them did have titles, like ones he would have titles for, besides the joking ones.
Yeah,
there are some joke titles here. I would try to interpret, like Deep Blue was one that he had named. And then I took what I was thinking for the music and stuff and have it be like this horrible accident. The guy's at peace, drifting, he's going into the, his afterlife, whatever you're into. And then he's revived on cold ground and he's miserable and
in a lot of pain.
Yeah. So the last one is through the windows I see a sky filled with hopes, but it's not there for me. Alone I stare into deepest blue.
That's awesome, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's really cool. I like that. Now with the music itself and the name of the album, Silence, obviously that's one of the songs. Did you take just the song title Silence and like, yeah, this is a good name for the album, or did you have a plan for that too?
He named the album.
Okay.
And then I wrote the lyrics.
Awesome. I'm a huge fan of crows or ravens, and when I saw the cover, I was like, "Fuck yeah!"
Yeah,
yeah, I love the cover too. Tom made the cover.
Yeah, it's really cool, man. And I like when I made the flyer, I was like, because a lot of times I will take like the artwork that somebody gives me, and I'll just expand it and then blur it in the background. And I was like, no, I'm not going to blur this one. I'm like, let's put some more trees in the background. So it's like, a forest in the back and then, coming into the focus of it. And then the crow, I thought it worked out really well. So
nice. It did. Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah,
awesome.
Did the album kind of have a theme to it? Did you guys, was it, cause like I said, it seems very moody. It seems like it has a kind of like a doomy feel to it. You know what I mean? Like,
well, the funny thing is, tell them about the adjective thing. Brooding. How that
Brooding.
came about.
Oh, so when I was putting it up, because I went through CD Baby to put it up for digital distribution,
Sure.
and they make you pick a genre and then a mood. And I was scrolling through the list, and I'm like, none of these fit until I came to the word brooding.
Yeah.
I went,
That's us.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're brooding.
Music, yeah.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's very melancholy. I like to write in natural minor scale on guitar. So it's Andy calls it pretty.
Yeah.
He thinks it's too pretty, but I think it's got just enough sadness to it. And then if you go in the Phrygian mode where you drop a second, you flat the second, it's even more sad. So I like to switch between those two scales. And this is the type of music that I really enjoy the most.
Yeah.
I love being in Hex and THOR, but this is really where I really get to shine, I feel.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you probably, I mean, so this is stuff that you've kind of accumulated through different various projects, or was it a specific project that kind of like, you know, oh, I've got these ideas. I mean, you mentioned it before, saying like it didn't work for the project that you were in at the time when you were writing a lot of that stuff. Like, has it always been this kind of feel for you? Like you said, it comes naturally, but is this kind of like the when you write a tune, is it in this type of mode?
Typically, yeah. I mean, when I was in These Worlds Collide, this was early 2010s. We were more metalcore type of a band, so I have a little bit of influence from there. But I still wrote roughly in the same scale, so you could blend it all together pretty easily.
Sure.
And then there was Andraste's Rage, which was more of a jam metal band. We, when I was with them for the first EP we put out, and then I did a long stretch in Cold Colors.
Right.
If you remember that.
Yep.
And so that's very, minor key, very melancholy as well. So I actually fit Cold Colors pretty well. But yeah, I mean, I listen to bands like Insomnium, Amorphous, Swallow the Sun, Wearing Their Shirt, Wolfheart, a lot of Scandinavian metal, Dark Tranquility, but it's very focused on melody and sorrow.
Sure.
So it actually just fits really well. It flows really well.
I'm a thrash guy for days, but I have soft spots for like Amorphous, amazing band.
Right.
We just saw Swallow the Sun, like you said, at the Caboose, and what a great show that was. So yeah,
Tom, it starts out, the album starts out very, very mellow, very, like Andy said, very pretty, you know what I mean? Like it has that, like I said, it's very moody, man. Like you said, brooding, is that what you said it was?
Brooding.
Yeah.
It starts like that, and you can really feel that. And it plays out like I don't know, like some sort of, like a sad story, or some sort of, there's, again, very pretty, very moody, and then it kind of punches you in the face for a minute. But Tom, I mean, right off the bat, you come in and, dude, you're a heavy hitter. You always hit real heavy. You're real solid with your feet. I mean, it just like, I could really feel it when I'm driving around today, and I was listening to it, and I'm just kind of cruising. And when it kicked in, I was like, oh yeah, there's Tom. I could feel it. I was like,
that's nice to hear. Thanks.
Yeah. Like I wasn't positive where you were going to go with the vocals, because I knew it was you guys, working on this project, but I wasn't sure, if you had guest vocalists coming in, if Tom was like, yeah, I'm singing and playing drums. I was like, yeah,
on the edge,
or it was going to be, or Matt was going to do it. And it was great to have, like you said, guys that you would trust musically. You know what I'm saying? Like, I trust both of you guys musically. So when you're like, hey, dude, we do a podcast together? I was like, fuck yeah, let's do this, man. But when I was able to, and you sent me the tracks before, and I apologize, I just didn't have a chance to take a listen to them. But you were like, we're releasing this on Friday. We're going to do this on the Roar of the Underground. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm just going to see if I can get it on iTunes on Friday, and I'll just play it through the day, and I'll be able to feel it. when I went into it, I was like, I didn't know where the vocals were going to be. And they were very like, kind of mystical in the beginning. And then they got heavy. And then I was just like, okay, little breathy and wordy. And it was nice, man. I liked it. Very cool. It's a great album, man. And like I said, I hope folks will take the time to take a listen to it. Gallowglass Scourge, and their debut, the Silence, I'm sorry. 10 songs. Fantastic. What now? Tell me about the lyrics for Silence. What is that first song that we heard? What is that one about?
That one's Tom. Tom wrote those.
I had a really unfortunate thing happen.
Yeah.
And someone I really cared about took their life.
Yeah.
And I wrote it about her. So
that'll
Yep.
do it.
Yeah.
Now, being a vocalist myself, and having in my early years of playing, my bass player wrote a lot of the lyrics that I sang. And looking back at that, it's tough to be a pretty outspoken guy to begin with, and take. This is how I would explain to my friends about the lyrics. Okay, so it was like an old projection. A film projector, you know what I mean? Like my bass player would hand me these lyric sheets, and I would feed them through myself to project them out on other people. Now, with that kind of analogy, Matt, when you read something like Silence, could you feel that feeling, and did that add to the what you put into that song vocally?
Yeah, I feel like I did. I mean, I hang out with Tom all the time, so
Yeah.
he's told me the story behind it. I know everything, how he felt and all that. So I was able to channel into that. I do feel like I can be somewhat empathic, if that's the word. And so yeah, some of the lyrics, sometimes I get lyrics back from him and I go, holy shit, these are deep, and how am I going to express this one? But a lot of times, like I said, I'd send him scat vocals. So I had the pattern figured out. I had how I was going to do it mostly figured out. So I just put the words to it.
Right.
And which made it easier for Tom to write too. But
That
the
was good.
the song Deep Blue, he actually had lyrics before we even tracked drums for it. He had it already figured out. And when I went to do vocals, I had to change things around. Silence too, actually.
Yeah.
I had to move some things to make it flow a little bit more musically and fit the song a little better.
Sure.
And Tom here was shocked because he's like, that's not where you put vocals.
That's completely wrong.
It's not,
But it sounded great. So
yeah, it's not at all where I imagined that was going.
no.
But he liked
But
it.
it worked. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll sign off on it.
Yeah.
Right. Right. And that's a, I mean, and to have a member in the project that you're working with, especially when it's just you guys and you're comfortable working together and you flow really well, that has to be a good feeling when you can, say, okay, this isn't working musically, you know what I mean? Like vocally to the music, and you maybe cut a corner or try to shorten it in some way. And the person that writes it either gives you I don't know about that, or they go, yeah, dude, that's good. That's going to work perfect with that. That's got to be a great feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Now when you guys get in a room together, just you two, it's got to just come out of you, right?
It does.
Now, if now, Matt, do you have a stockpile of riffs? I'm sure like Andy's got a stockpile of riffs too. But I mean, as a guitar player, are you like, oh, hey, Tom, I got this. And Tom was like, oh, yeah, just pounding away on it, or what?
There's go ahead.
I like to piece everything together as quick as I can and move on with it. So,
sure.
Except for this album was all back catalog. So I really shouldn't say that. It might. But,
Except with you. Yeah.
I mean, I've already, because I'm so excited about this album. We already have ideas in the works for the next one. I already have 9 song ideas
9
ready.
songs for the new album already.
Wow. Holy shit.
Just released this one.
So, I mean, I sit in my music room and I write. I don't really do much else when I play guitar. I don't learn other people's stuff unless,
Sure.
it's THOR or Hex. If I'm learning a song Andy wrote for Hex,
Yeah.
stuff like that. But I don't really go. I pick up my guitar and I write. That's what I do.
Right.
And as far as chemistry between Tom and I, we can have 20-minute jam sessions without stopping or getting lost or confused.
And they flow. That's crazy.
Wow.
Like, damn, we should have recorded that.
Yeah, no doubt. Now, do you guys? Now, you said when you recorded the drums for this, you said Andy recorded the drums.
Yes.
He mic'd everything up for you in the studio, or what?
We went to, instead of bringing my drum kit down to his place, because his studio is in his basement,
right?
And I have a bigger kit, so we just went over to our studio. He brought the interface over there, and it was like first thing on Sunday morning because we didn't want anyone else in there.
Yeah.
And so we go in and record it, and it was fun. We had a lot of fun hanging out with Andy and working on that. And then he mixed it and did all that work too. So Andy was definitely a big part of how this album turned out.
Awesome.
So thanks, Andy.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. What was I going to say? I just lost my train of thought. Crap. Never mind. Go on.
That's okay. We got glitches. I got glitches over here. It's all good. But yeah, I mean, that's got to be a really cool thing too, to be able to have, a guy that's in another project with you, and willing to lay some tracks down with you and really work with you on that stuff. When it comes to, putting out music with another project, that's really, really cool. How did you guys mix and master this? Did you send it off somewhere? Or?
Well, Andy mixed it at his place, and then we took it to Adam Tucker, Signature Tone.
Oh yeah,
because what he touches is gold.
Yeah,
I love how he masters.
Yes, yeah, that dude is a beast, man. I've tried to reach him on Facebook, and I don't know if he's very active on Facebook. He's probably a very, very busy dude.
He's a busy guy.
I was trying to get him in here to do a podcast with him because every band that's recorded with him that's come through here, and I've played their music or sat down and listened to their music, my jaws dropped every single time. That guy is phenomenal, man. Fantastic studio. From what I hear, he's got a hell of a stockpile of tones hanging out there too, different guitar amps and different bass amps.
It's all around the wall in the main room.
Yeah, and I wanted to correct you on a particularly large drum set. That is an epic drum set that you have. I think it's been epic since I don't know how long you've been playing drums.
Well, I'm self-taught. I started playing when I was 4.
Jesus,
but I couldn't play proficiently until probably 6th grade.
Yeah,
I taught myself how to play the drum kit, instead of just the drum.
Yeah.
I was a little drummer boy in 2nd grade because I was the only kid that could keep the beat.
Yeah.
I think it's not hard, just do this.
Yeah.
So okay, you're the little drummer boy.
Yeah.
Ironically, or coincidentally, I guess it'd be, on the THOR album, THOR did a Christmas album. And it was already pretty much done. He goes, well, do you want to add anything? What do you got? And I recorded a drum solo that was supposed to be part of Crawling from the Crypt, an Impaler song that we chopped apart.
Yeah.
Oh, Hit with an Axe, it was called originally. So I had this drum solo thing, studio recorded, and Deb Leibel, that's John's wife, she sang, and they put the effect, made it sound like a little girl. So she's singing The Little Drummer Boy. And
Thor,
right. And I'm going tap, 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 really basic snare thing.
Yeah.
And then Thor, big booming voice, like, our drummer's not so little. And then I do this fuck all drum solo.
Yeah.
And it's called Not So Little Drummer Boy.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. That's a good way to incorporate all kinds of different things into that shit,
Right.
So what Matt, what are you playing on and through for this album? What is this your normal rig, or do you have different tones for this particular album?
Actually, to record guitars, I bought a Moore preamp live pedal. My buddy Paul Esch had told me about it. He plays an Islick. So I was able to, just through the preamp live pedal. That's what I used for guitar tones. My bass was direct in. I played bass guitar on there. And then I used a software to get the strings and the piano and the violin on there.
Now, how did you do the piano on that? Was it just like a program stuff that you did? Oh, you can play piano too?
Yeah, the first instrument I learned was piano. I started piano lessons in 3rd grade.
Damn, you got a guitar?
No, I don't have a guitar. Maybe I'll get one.
Final countdown shit on that thing.
Yep. Yep. That's awesome, man. I was going to ask you if you played all the bass stuff on there too, and I had no idea you were a pianist as well.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Dude.
I'm better at guitar than I'm on piano, but I can play a little bit of piano.
Yeah, that's really cool, and it adds flavor to the material as well. So now with the guitar pedal that you used, did you just plug that directly into the interface and rock it? You just had, your tones dialed in on the pedal and went from there? Or how does that? Is it like a preamp amp type of thing or what?
Yeah, it's called Moore Preamp Live. It's a bunch. The pedal itself has 47 different types of amps on there.
Oh wow.
Modeled. Yeah. So I picked 2 different ones for rhythms. I picked one for leads and then one for cleans, and that's what I did.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now did you play with the bass stuff? Did you just play directly into a DI box, or how did that work?
I plugged into the interface, and then I used a plug-in for the bass tone.
Okay. What type of bass did you play on? What type of guitars did you play on?
My Fire Plant custom, my Jackson V, Scott Ian V I used.
Nice.
And an ESP MH. And then my bass guitar is a Jackson, I think it's a Dave Ellefson one.
There's got to be in there. Sorry.
There's a little bit of that.
It's the winding.
Yeah. It was consensual, I swear. Sorry, I didn't mean to take a shot at Dave.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's cool, dude. I really like the bass tone in the stuff that I liked it. I like the bass tones in there. Very cool.
Thank you,
Tom. Now, how many drums kits do you have? What did you play? What is your choice of drums to play?
I've actually had tons of different drums through the years. The one you're thinking of, the Predator.
Yeah.
I got that as an endorsement while I was in Impaler.
Oh, nice.
The hardware sucked though, so I had to get all this Pearl hardware for it. I have a Vinnie Paul signature snare, the Pearl one. I shouldn't take it out, but I love it so much.
It sounds amazing. I was actually going to ask you about that too, because that is fucking. It's a solid sound, dude. It sounds really.
It really is.
Yeah.
So I know it's worth money, but I can't not take it out. I love it too much. But it's the original Pearl. It's got the rattlesnake with the spiked lugs around it.
Yeah.
So now I have a Pearl kit. This Black Cherry Sparkle.
Oh, nice.
Right now it's an 8-piece. I'm working on the 9th. I ordered a 13-inch drum for it to make it more me, but it's not coming until June. I ordered it months ago, and it's June.
Oh, wow! So everything's got to be backed up because of the pandemic, I suppose, huh?
Right. So
It seems that way.
the Predator kit, a fan actually, he knew what I did, and I was gonna get rid of it because I drug it across the country. I don't know how many times. It was falling apart.
Yeah.
I'd play a gig, tune it up, and the lug would snap. I mean, the where the key goes in, the lug itself would break, and it wouldn't go back in. It was like the piece that would hold it.
Yeah.
Off.
Yeah.
So I kept having to harvest from like the big 18-inch floor drum I had.
Yeah.
So finally, like, okay, I'm just getting rid of it because it was just costing me too much money. So I told the guy I was going to sell it for maybe 600. It had a lot of the rack, you know.
Yeah.
Then he goes, "So what albums do you record on it?" And I'm thinking, well, let's see, you know, it's a bunch of them. So ended up, he goes, "Well, here's $1,000." Like, thank you.
Wow.
And now it's sitting in a barn in Wisconsin somewhere.
Just as a piece, or does he actually play it?
I think he's like a bass player, so he has a drummer come in and play it, but it's sitting in all its glory in a barn somewhere.
Wow. That's
Converted
crazy.
barn studio.
That's crazy, man. That's really cool of them to do that too. You know what I mean? To pay way over the price. And you know, someone that is appreciated, you know, what you do musically and takes it in, you know, I mean, you know, it's probably means a shit ton to him. You know what I mean? Like, hey, that's the Impaler drum set right there. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that's pretty damn cool. Pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
Now you said when you know, touring with THOR and with Impaler, what are some of the favorite bands that you guys have played with so far and just in your musical journey? Like, I mean, there's got to be some that really stand out to you, like, holy shit, I got to play with those guys. Or after the fact, like you said, you had to hand your drum kit over to, you know, Primal Fear. Yeah, you know, and that's a pretty big one too.
So I've got to do a lot of amazing ones. I'm looking forward to when Matt can do them with me, because pretty much when he did our shows.
Yeah.
As a member, we were headlining.
Right.
So it was just THOR going around the country here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but he got to, you know, separately, Cold Colors got to do a lot of bands. His favorite band he got to open for. That's pretty cool.
I have a couple flyers framed in my house. Opened for Amorphous and Swallow the Sun in 2017 with Cold Colors, and Insomnium and Dark Tranquility.
How long were you with Cold Colors? I think you mentioned that earlier, but I wanted to.
It was about 5 years. So end of 2013 to March of 2019 or 2019. Now
Cold Colors kind of shifted gears in the middle there. Like they've switched up their style a few times throughout the years. Now were you in more of the melancholy stuff, or did you get to, I mean, there was some time where they were like a lot heavier. I felt like they were like a little faster at one point.
Yeah, there was a point where they were more thrash.
Yeah.
I would almost say. Yeah, that was the Great Depression album. I joined after the self-titled Cold Colors album with I think it's a raven on the cover, the white one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's when I joined. So it was more of the melancholy type, and I was a huge songwriter for the Northernmost album.
Right.
Yeah.
How was working with Brian? Brian is such an amazing human, just as a good all around cat. I've always been, every time I've seen Brian, I really enjoyed chatting with him and hanging out with him. And whenever we'd see each other at shows, and, you know, I'd always be happy to see Brian. Was he amazing to work with?
Yeah, he was fun to work with. He let me do my thing, and then he would just put vocals on it and add his little flavor here and there. So, and, you know, he would bring songs to me and I'd put leads over them. So we kind of just wrote our own songs and we combined them somehow.
Yeah.
For Cold Colors. But yeah, he was really easy to work with. He liked what I was doing for the band, so he didn't really stop me.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that has to be a testament to your talent too. You know what I mean? Like when you're working with people, especially other, I mean, guitarists, or, you know what I mean? Like bassist, or even drummers for that matter. Like I've seen guitar players or other members in bands where you come in with a great idea or a fully written song, and, you know, one guy might not like it. And, you know what I mean? Like there's like a power struggle between, you know, it's always like, you know, I always find it awesome when I hear people like, yeah, man, it was a perfect situation to where, you know, I would write something and they would just add to that, or like, you know, there was never like, I'm going to cut this piece out. I'm going to cut that piece out. I'm going to add my, you know what I mean? Like, I dig that. And I feel like, you know, that you know, Brian would be that type of cat. And like I said, it's got to be a testament to your talent too. I mean, when Tom, you know, invited you to come with the THOR thing too, and THOR trusting Tom's judgment on, you know, the talent and bringing you into that project, it's got to be awesome to be able to go, yeah, I got this shit.
And I told the story.
What story?
The origins.
Huh? Sure.
Okay, so I was an elder god at the time, right?
Yeah.
Remember elder god?
Yep.
Yeah, elder god. Andy does that all the time when we say it. So we were playing Superior, Wisconsin. This, like, there wasn't even a road. It was just, the show was just a nightmare.
Yeah.
They had stripped the road away and no one could get to it. It was some speakeasy, small bar.
Yeah.
And it was Elder God with These Worlds Collide.
Mm-hmm.
And
Dire Wolves.
And Dire Wolves, good memory, yeah. So I'm sitting there, and you know, I'm already. I'm really warm, right? I'm miserable half the time because I'm hot.
Being a big fella, that's how it works when you're a big fella, dude. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Right.
Okay. Right now. No, just kidding.
So I'm sitting there, and I'm already upset because no one could get to the place. We're parked behind. We follow the railroad track in so we could unload the drums. It was that ridiculous. And they start playing. No offense to anyone in These Worlds Collide, but I'm just immediately just stripping, like, okay, pushing the singer away. Greg Feinberg is a phenomenal bass player.
Right.
Not saying it, I mean, awesome. But I was focused. Like I shouldn't even say the name. There's a little bit of conceit in the guitar department, and I go, yeah, look at that fucker up there. and just like I said, I'm just stripping the band members away and just watching him. Like, I want to be in a band with that guy.
Yeah. And
you know, it actually worked out great.
Yeah.
We became good buddies, and then remember going out for dinner one time, and this is when Tim Morton left Hex.
Yeah.
And his wife at the time said, I don't want him to be in any other bands unless it's yours. Like, dang.
Nice. You were
when
like,
he
yes.
came to the audition, he didn't learn a song or two. He learned the set.
Whoa,
He
nice.
learned the whole damn set.
Nice.
I wanted that one. So I really wanted in Hex Vortices. When I first, because I was at their first show at Minnesota Metal Cafe, Music Cafe.
Music Cafe, right?
And I remember this was New Year's Eve or New Year's Day.
New Year's Day, yeah.
I remember watching it.
Hold on, wait. New Year's Day. I just got to say this. It should be the Metal Cafe. That place is awesome. It should have more metal shows at it. New Year's Day. Go ahead.
Yeah, they should. And it's a fun place to play too. But I remember watching, I mean, they didn't have song titles for most of them. They went off numbers. That was their set list. And I was watching it, and I said to myself, I'm going to be in that band someday, and I'm going to replace him.
Oh, he did.
And that's what happened. It reminds me of the story you hear about Kirk Hammett in Metallica.
Yes,
He's watching them once. He's like, I'm going to be in that band someday.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's how I felt with Hex Vortices. So it was kind of funny that he said that. But at the show in Superior, Wisconsin. Yeah.
That's really cool. That's really cool. You know, that vibe that you feel. Tom, I've been there, man, where you see a particular player and you're trying to piece things together at a point or something, you know, and you're like, I'm going to approach this guy and I'm really going to push it on him. You know what I mean? Like, dude, you're really good in this band, but you'd be better in my type of thing, you know, like, come on, let's make some music together, you know?
It's not even that. The dude's my best friend.
Yeah.
So
well, that's good.
You know,
Oh yeah.
It's awesome to write music with him. It's like hanging out,
Yeah.
drinking beer.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
This guy.
Yeah. And you guys, it shows in this album, dude. This album's really cool, man. And I hope you get more people to check it out. I mean, you just dropped it, so hopefully we can shine a little bit on it, and like I said, if we're recording this right now, we got a good chunk of it, and then I'll add it to the beginning of the mess that happened there, and it'll all work. But it's that is always a great feeling when you meet a good buddy and work it out, man. That synergy of people's connecting with someone just as friends and adding the music on top of it. It's kind of like you probably know what each other are going to play before you play it. So, I mean, how long have you guys been jamming together as just not just this project, but together?
Well, we were going to do, we were trying to, ZBR was doing that where bands would get together.
Oh yeah.
So before you joined Hex, we were working on a song that ultimately never got finished, but that was a good riff too. And it right away, like, oh yeah, I know exactly what to do there.
Yeah.
That's always been that way with him. So
hell yeah.
What was that? 2013, 14, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So almost 8 years now that we've been jamming together or hanging out.
Yeah, that's good. That's good stuff. That's good stuff.
yeah, that's nine years.
Huh?
So
14?
9 years. Yeah. No, from 2013. I knew you at that point.
Yeah.
Now,
Somewhere in there.
do you guys have any ambitions to move this forward? I mean, you said you already had music for another album. Are you wanting to play this out live, Matt? Are you wanting to do vocals in front of folks? And is this something that you could do with playing and playing guitar and singing at the same time? Is that something?
Yeah, I mean, I've done it before with Andraste's Rage, but we only had 2 shows where I was frontman and guitarist. So.
Right.
And I do backups with Hex while I'm playing guitar too. So I'm not really concerned about that. I'm warming up to making this a live band. The thought of bringing in another guitar player is a little intriguing or intimidating.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, I might have to share creative
Yeah, a
control.
lot of control.
Which could be a good thing too. It's not always a bad thing, but
we have an announcement coming up, which is us focusing on trying to get it to the stage. Because we definitely would like to do that. It'd be a shame not to do it.
Right.
But I wanted to get back though. You were talking about having a really tight band and everything.
Sure.
Hex Vortices, we're a band of brothers for sure.
Oh,
Love
yeah.
those dudes.
You can see it when you guys play, and I mean, standing back the last time that I saw you guys, I could tell you're kind of like looking over at each other, and Andy was kind of being Andy. Andy's fun to watch. You know what I mean? Even if he's missing things, even if he's like you know what I mean? Like I could tell he was like forgetting parts, and that's just me. But he just has fun. You know what I mean? And that to me makes a band that much cooler, is when you can tell that they are having fun doing what they do. And it shows with you guys. It really does. It seems like, you guys are having fun. The music is just fucking punchy in the nuts, man. It really just, it gets after it. And you can feel it, man. I mean, unfortunately, the last time that I saw you at the North Star, and it's not a diss on the North Star. I know they're trying to make the venue a little bit better, and they're trying to do a little bit more with it. But
sure,
when I've seen you guys play on a full PA, those riffs and that thundering drum kit of yours, dude, that shit comes together, and it's like a fucking, a bunch of horses running after you, you know what I mean? Like a stampede. I'm not even lying. You guys really do have that feel of, that old school feel. Now, Tom, you guys know this, the old school thrash bands, the old school, like mosh pit bands have that feeling, that good thrash vibe, and it is like a stampede. It's like you want to get in that pit and throw down, and I said it earlier too. I honestly feel like Hex Vortices doesn't get the love and respect you guys deserve, because each one of you guys, I spoke with the bass player, and he's from New Orleans, right? He's from down south.
Well, he's Baton Rouge.
Okay, so he's from down south, and so he's the only guy out of the band that I really don't know, but I've seen each of the other guys in different projects and things here in Minnesota. But he's a hell of an addition to the band. He's a fantastic bass player, and that freaky ass bass that he plays, man. Yeah, I mean, he really, he's a really personable guy, really nice guy. When I spoke to him, he was like, hope you got some really good shots. You know what I mean? Like being a photographer and like standing there, like taking photos of somebody. It's like you want to be in the moment and like look around and enjoy what you guys are, what the band's doing, but you want to capture it to show everybody like, oh yeah. You got to be able to feel this, you know what I mean? And I've seen you guys in a real venue. I've seen you guys with real lights. I've seen you guys with a real PA, and it's fucking badass. So I would love to see this band do that style of thing too. You know what I mean? Where you get up there with a real PA and really give it to people, and like putting the CD in, and in a good set of headphones, and just kind of like letting that mood take a hold of you. I think that you got it on stage. I think that mood would really pour in the room. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I
mean,
that's awesome.
No problem, dude. No problem. Like I said, it's brand new to me. It's in my playlist now, so I'm sure it'll be popping up. And it was kind of crazy because I was like working on the broken computer that's right here. I was like trying to set everything up, and I was listening to it, and when you hear an album and it's fresh to your ears, and you're kind of like in the middle of something and something's going on, and then one groove or one solid, it could maybe be a vocal pattern, because I was wondering, I'm like, is that Matt doing that, the low talking stuff? I'm like, oh, that's pretty sweet. And it was like, how it piques your ears. You just kind of like, you're in the middle of something. Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. That it happened a few times before you guys. I think I made it to maybe the 8th song before I stopped it and then made a playlist so I could have the 2 songs ready to play, So there's a lot. I'm going to make it through it. I think I made it to, no, I take that back. I made it 6 songs in, because this Burden was the last one that I listened to. There was one right in the middle of I want to say it might've been Silence. Yeah, that's a solid tune, man. That's a banger for sure. It sticks out. It really does.
Yeah,
definitely the heaviest one on there.
Yeah, it's for sure the heaviest.
That's probably why, because I'm, you know what I mean. I don't know, I like Moody too, though. You know what I mean. Yeah. I didn't know what to expect. I expected it would be, because I know, like you said, Tom's a thrash guy for days. I thought it was going to be a little bit faster in the beginning, and then when I heard the beginning, I'm like, oh, I see which way they're going with this shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's and I kind of, from the artwork, it kind of sets the tone for it too. I'm looking at it now, and whenever I see like a trees like fall or like dead trees, because there's leaves on the ground too, right, in the background on the ground.
Yep.
It always feels like that sorrow kind of. You know what I mean? That moody feel.
Yep.
So that's this would be, and I know you now, Matt, you're probably a little younger than I am. And I know Tom might be just a hair older than I am. So I know when we were kids, Tom, going to the record store and looking for those new albums, it was like, my thing would be the record label, if it was on Combat or Metal Blade, or, you know what I mean? Those old school record labels, you always looked for those, but it was always the cover art as well. And that would be the vibe that I would get off that. If I picked up the album, I'd be like, this might be right up my alley. You know what I mean? I love the bird,
man.
I love the bird, and I love trees, dude. my wife just hung another tree picture. So in our house, so we just moved into a place, and we've got a ton of wall space. You know what I'm saying? And we had one big picture, and it looks like you would see on the back of the Miyagi-gi. It's like one of those weird, like, I don't know, lotus blossom trees or something. You know what I mean? It kind of comes up in fragments off into, the branches and shit. But that was the first one. And then my wife found a really big one to go over the TV. So then we were like, we had the bonsai looking one above the TV, and then she started moving them around the whole room. We just hung another tree picture that looked like the background of this one. So it was like, that's my vibe. So I totally would have picked this album up if I was a kid and wanted to check something out. And I figured the logo and the background and the bird, I'm sold on it already. So
the back cover is literally above my garage. Those trees pulled my garage off the foundation and ruined it.
What?
It's my backyard.
That is that picture is?
Yeah, I took that picture with this phone.
Where the song titles are?
Yeah.
Yeah, with the moon.
Yeah, it was that one of the like gigantic full moon.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love how that stuff. My old guitar player from Necromus, our 2004 release, he did that with the cover of our album there too. He did that same thing.
Still got that album.
Yeah. Oh, awesome.
Still got my copy.
Awesome. That's killer.
Remember, you were on one room. I was in the Unholy right next door to you.
Yeah. Yeah. That was, God, how long ago was that, man? That
90s, late 90s.
Jesus.
We're war horses, Greg.
Yeah, that's true, man. Horses. That's true. That's true. Have you guys, what is the next Hex Vortices show coming up? I know you guys have one coming up soon, yeah?
We have a couple. Well, yeah, February 12th, we're at North Star Bar again.
Okay.
With Usilic and Trita,
I think. Yeah.
Have you guys have you seen Trita yet?
No.
Dude, you guys are in for a surprise. They are fucking really awesome. I believe the bass player works at Capitol Guitars. I want to say that. Yeah, I believe so. I booked them at Lee's a few years back, and I was like, holy shit. They really gave me a Twisted Tool vibe. They were fucking awesome. Like a heavier, they're heavy too. So
yeah,
and the Silic is fucking killer. So
yeah,
that's gonna be, and that one's February 12th, right?
Yep.
Okay. What do you have anything before or after that?
After that, we're playing March 5th at Biggs in Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Oh shit!
With Semtex.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Now, is Les putting that show on for you guys?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart. Such a sweetheart. Yeah, absolutely. Have you guys played out there? Have you been out to that bar yet?
I have.
I haven't been to. I've played the Phoenix in Sioux Falls. That's the only time I ever played there.
Which band did you play with there?
Seventh Calling.
Oh, okay. Damn, I
wasn't even a member. I was just helping out.
Oh, right on. Yeah, the Biggs is in a like a strip mall. But it is. Yeah, it's like but it's, let me see what I could compare it to. I would say like Pavlitsky's, like a bigger Pavlitsky's. You know how Pavs, when you came in, it kind of like you walked in and it was to the left, the stage was to the left. It is like virtually the same type of layout, really. Has a little room that kind of goes back. Yeah, it's very much like Pavlitsky's, but wider. I want to say more. You know how Pavlitsky's had low ceilings, like a low drop ceiling in there.
Yeah.
Biggs is. It's a fun venue, man. Went to go see the Les does that Slam Dakota show out there. That's something you guys should try to get on too, man.
I think we've been talking about that, right?
Have we?
Yeah. Is Josh Kellerman from Semtex.
Is he trying to get on that deal too, or what?
I think so.
I think so. Yeah.
Dude, that's a really, really fun show. That's a great time. And she works with Miguel from God, I can't remember the name of the band, but he does the Chicago Destruction Fest or some shit like that. It's another. There's like 3 fests that she's involved or partner or friends with the people that put them on. So she like shifts bands from, you know what I mean? Like they'll share bands from each festival. Okay. I know they do one in Texas, and then one in Chicago, and then the one in South Dakota. And I've been trying to keep this on kind of on the DL, but I'm really working right now trying to get into one of the larger venues here. Now with all the COVID restrictions and things kind of tightening down, I'm a little nervous because I don't know, you know, if I'm going to be able to get in there or how it's all going to work out, but I'm crossing my fingers that we'll have access to another larger venue and have multiple rooms. Like I said, it's just, it's kind of I'm kind of keeping it on the down low right now. And I really haven't mentioned to too many people, I think like a handful of folks, and now I'm putting it on the podcast, but I'm just waiting for the word of and I want to try to hook up with Les and these other spots for these festivals and try to do like a 4 festival, you know, to be able to take a handful of bands from here and have them play in Chicago, have them play in Texas, and those guys pull bands from their area and play here. You know what I mean? It'd be really nice. And I really wish Lee's was open still so I could do something like this and have it, you know, it seemed like that was growing and starting to, you know, take root to it, you know, and then the city comes along and slaps you like, you think you got something good? Get out of here, you know?
Yeah,
so,
of course. That was a blow, losing Lee's. That was a big hit.
As soon as they took the booths out, I love that place. The ones that ran away.
You liked when they did take them out?
Yes.
Yeah, I did too. I had only been in Lee's, I think 2 other times prior to going there and booking, you know what I mean? And they had the booths in there and like the really weird PA system that were on the on ends of the booths, you know what I mean? They were like, it was really weird. And then they had the sound booth to the side of it, like where it was before. I'm like, what the hell? How are you able to hear this whole thing, you know? And it was nice to have Anthony down there doing sound and having Jordan doing sound. I mean, solid guys that knew their shit doing sound there made it that much better. And then, you know, James Rhines really was, you know, he's been instrumental in the music scene for so many years at the Quest and things like that. He's done so much. And at Mill City too, he was doing stuff there. I was super fortunate to get hooked up with that whole thing. And I just I hope something gives here to where we can retain the venues that we have and hopefully we can something will pop up soon that will, you know, substitute us a little bit more because we lost the Hex. We lost what was the Hex? Whiskey Junction. That was the other one. Yeah, Whiskey. And that was a sad one because they were starting to seem like they were gaining momentum as well before COVID.
Yeah. I was supposed to play there with Propane.
Oh man. Hex was supposed to play that show?
We were supposed to,
That would have been
and the Flotsam show. We lost that one because of the COVID too.
Yeah.
That was it, caboose.
Yeah, and I just heard that new Flotsam too that was released this last year, 2020.
Blood in the Water. Yeah,
dude. My buddy Artemis came in and played a couple tracks off of that album, and dude, I've kind of lost track of Flotsam. You know what I mean? It's one of those bands that I enjoyed, but it wasn't like a favorite. You know what I mean? Like, oh, okay, yeah, I like that, but this newest one, holy shit. Now these guys have been doing it for a long time and they still are heavy hitters. I was like, damn, these guys are really, really bringing it down. Now, do you guys have any favorites that from 2021 that you want to say or anything?
Well, Blood in the Water was on my list. New Exodus was great.
Yeah.
Bellacore, this Australian band that's kind of in sort of the Insomnium Amorphous. I really like them. He turned me on to them.
Yeah.
Swallow the Sun.
Swallow the Sun. Yeah, they put out a great album. Witherfall. I don't know if you've listened to them.
What'd you say?
What was that one?
Witherfall.
Oh, I haven't heard that one.
So I don't know if you knew who Adam Sagan was. He was on their first album.
Yes, the drummer, right? Yeah.
Yeah, before he passed away. So this third album of theirs is freaking phenomenal. Their guitar player is insane. And then what else did I have on my list? I had Thirfing. They're from Sweden, Norway. I think they're Norwegian. I'm drawing a blank now. I can't. Oh, Trivium. Yeah. Pretty excited about Trivium's album this year. Our bass player Alan is a huge fan of Trivium. I've been following Trivium since 2004. So this new album of theirs is solid.
Yeah.
Gojira.
That one was absolutely awesome. That was a great album.
Yeah.
This last one took me a bit to get into.
Oh, the last Gojira?
Yeah, because, it's in French. It looks like infant sausages. I love that album. Le Fête Sauvage, whatever.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp perfume or some shit.
Yeah.
Why would you say that? When you said that, Tom, all I could envision was like the old school that this big bottle. You know what I mean? Like
this guy lying around.
He said a Johnny Depp fragrance or some shit. That's fantastic, dude. Yeah, perfume. Yes. Yeah, I agree with you. You know that Gojira I had to listen to a couple times before it really grabbed a hold of me. What was the one? Oh, God damn it, I can't think of it. There it was. No, damn it. Where's my phone at? It's something. Oh, God damn it! It's got guys from Mastodon in it. They released that last.
Oh, Killer Be Killed.
Yeah,
Killer Be Killed. That was good stuff.
Yeah.
That was really good stuff. God, I was thinking of something else too.
In Mourning, if you haven't heard of them, like Mourning, MOUR.
Yeah.
Mourning. That band, phenomenal. They just put out a really good album last year too.
In Mourning, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, In Mourning.
Now, how do you guys find releases through the year? I mean, obviously, there's like I've been kind of scouring different news sites, music news sites, Metal Injection, a couple of other news sites, but only this year. It's kind of been something like. I always bum out because I had heard about the Exodus release and I didn't get a chance to listen to it. I heard good things about it, but it was like in my head and out again. You know what I mean? Like I had. How do you guys find releases, or is there something that you guys kind of keep your finger on the pulse of things? Like how do you?
I'll check. There's different websites. I'll check just to see what new releases are coming up, and then try to remember them as they.
Sure.
Waiting for that new King Diamond. What the hell? It's taking forever. Creator. They got one coming up. I love Creator.
Their last couple have been phenomenal too. The last time I saw them with Arch Enemy, and now this is a couple of years back at Mill City, I felt bad for Arch Enemy. It was just like, I sat there and was like, these dudes kicked ass. Like when I saw them on Coma of Souls way back at First Avenue, I was like, these guys.
I was at that show, man.
Murdered it.
There.
Absolutely murdered it, man. The drum set that cat played at that First Avenue show was amazing. I just remember that whole rack just fucking vibrating. The only other drum set that I'd ever seen that gigantic was the dude from Sabotage and the dude from Quincy.
Oh yeah.
Those fucking drum sets were gigantic.
Kill drums.
Yeah. Yeah, just insane. But seeing Creator, I'd be really interested in hearing that because it blew me away that Millie, after all these years, is just still a beast. It's it's like watching a guy turn into a werewolf. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Just just him playing and singing. He's always been phenomenal.
Except more German, like Scheiße.
Yeah.
Then.
Yep. Yeah, for sure, man. But I'm like, I'm curious to you know, like I'm excited because I've had a buddy of mine who comes in the last couple of years, and he goes all out with his best of, like, he finds stuff from all genres because he listens to everything. And it's like every year I feel like a dipshit because he just has so much work into this. You know what I mean? It's like I'm a huge fan of music. I love all types of music, but I'm so stuck in my own mode of listening to the stuff that's good to me. You know what I mean? Like some stuff, it just takes so much for me to really to pull me in on stuff. You know what I mean? The band Skeletal Remains is a band that really grabbed a hold of me in the last couple of years. Gate Creeper's another band. And now these are old school death metal bands. To me, their sound is very old school. And that's just something that really grabbed a hold of me with those bands, and being able to see like 6 songs of Skeletal Remains before I got knocked to the ground and had to leave before I killed somebody. You know what I mean? I'm holding a $2,000 camera and get knocked to the ground. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? I got a camera in my hand. He's like, you're being mean to people. And I'm like, oh, you have no idea. You know what I mean? Oh my God, I wanted to kill him. Jake Martin was in the crowd, and he said when he watched me walk out, he looked at Jesse from Incinerate and goes, if the old Greg comes back here, those dudes are gonna die. And he's like, then he took his glass. He said he was at the door with his glasses off. He's like, dude, I was waiting for you to come back and start killing people. But no, that was the Skeletal Remains, man, and at that Biggs place. The sound system is amazing too. Big stage. If you're just doing it with, how many bands are you guys playing with out there?
We just know of Semtex, and
we're not sure.
Okay, dude, the stage is really large. You're gonna have fun on that. You're gonna have a nice,
awesome,
a lot of room to roam around. It's a good sized stage. I did a lot of photography. I think I did 20 or 30 bands that day or some shit like that. So it had to be about 20 bands that day, inside and outside. So when they do that Slam Dakota thing, they do inside and outside, and both sound systems inside and outside sounded fantastic too.
Awesome.
So
nice. That's great.
Yep. Les is definitely someone you want to rub elbows with when you go out there and play. She's such a sweetheart too. Yeah.
Sweet.
You guys, I really appreciate you taking the time to come and do this half-ass fuckery that I had going on here. I apologize again. If this recording all works out, I will take the original part of it and just piece them together. I'll just iMovie them together and make a lyric video of you guys.
Because you know how to do it.
Use the titles, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. And I'll turn Tom into Max Headroom. Superimpose a hand just doing this the whole time.
Yeah. Like those wind things.
Oh, the windsock.
Yeah.
In front of the fucking the auto parts place, or the auto zone, or whatever the fuck it is. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, something like that. Again, I appreciate you guys coming in and doing the show and all that good stuff. I want to play this last tune, which is Defiance. Tell me about this one. This one is 6 minutes 12 seconds long. What is this one about?
This one is about kind of how someone feels after losing. No, that's not that one. This is about. I wrote the lyrics for this one. It's kind of about someone's constant struggle or tug of war with depression, and how you're constantly fighting every day. I haven't been diagnosed with that, but I have people very close to me that have, and I've seen what they go through, and so I tried to put myself in their shoes, and that's where the lyrics came from. And I don't know, it's just the constant, like I said, the tug of war between depression, and you're like fighting for your life constantly in a way. That's how you feel. So that's kind of what I did. I just put myself in their shoes. And Yeah.
That's a really tough thing to do, man. To be empathetic to someone's plight when it comes to that. It shows the kind of character that people are. You know, when you can step into their shoes and be creative about it. You know, to be able to have the understanding. To be, you know, I think everybody goes through a depression time in their life, whether it be through loss of someone that they care about, you know, loss of a job, a loss of a pet, loss of, you know, the list goes on and on and on. And sometimes it doesn't have to be that. And people have the chemical imbalance that, you know, sets them to that point. And I just recently had a friend on New Year's, you know, right as it changed, he was 14 days from his 46th birthday, and he took his own life. So I know that is a rough struggle for so many good people. And I'm never afraid. I try not to shy away from conversations like this when it comes up, because it is really important, being a bigger guy and maybe being, you know, at one point you think you're tougher than what you really are, or that you can handle all of the stresses that are in your life or in relationships or whatever, that you can take all that burden on yourself. Guys like us are really lucky because we have, you know, a musical outlet, a purge of some sort, to be able to go into a studio and, you know, play your guitar, headbang, or really like be creative with whatever we have inside of us, you know what I mean? And turn it as much as we can into a positive, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But there are a lot of people that struggle with it. And my feeling is I just hope that anybody who's hearing us talk about it or anything, that they're not too big to actually take a step. And, you know, you guys talked about being, you know, very good friends, best friends. And I'm sure if either one of you guys were hurting, that you would be able to speak with each other and try to have that conversation to at least get it out. You know what I mean? And I hope that, you know, anyone hearing this conversation will do the same and find someone that isn't going to judge them and judge their feelings and, you know, not make them feel worse than what they really, you know, how they feel. I know how it is, man. And defiance is a great way to look at that too, is, you know, defying that pain that you have, you know, and not taking it and, you know, trying to work it out, figure it out. That's important, man, for sure.
Yeah. The whole song's about not giving in. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, I'm glad that you guys didn't give in making awesome music and that you guys are going to continue, man. I like I said, I appreciate you guys coming on to do this thing and all that stuff. And I'm looking forward to listening to the album more and looking forward to hopefully seeing you guys put together a lineup and play out live with this stuff. It'd be very interesting to see.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be announcing new members soon. Wait, there's one that's already in the band, but we're going to make a spectacle of it.
We'll have an announcement about it. Yeah, we're slowly putting pieces together to bring it to the stage.
Awesome.
Don't know when, but it'll probably happen.
Well, you know, you guys know from being veterans in the music scene and veterans of playing, that putting those pieces together are like key, you know, to the creative process of this or any other project. You know what I'm saying? It's important to put the right pieces into place. So I'm sure you guys will make the right decision with it. Go ahead, Tom.
I was going to say, today, Putting Out Silence, it's my 28th record.
Damn, dude. Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
You got 2 more to go, right? You got 2 more to get 30?
Then I'll be the green globule on the drum stool. Poof.
Yep. You'll be the Spinal Tap drummer.
Right.
Explode.
Yep, you'll just
Yep, the green
spontaneously
globule.
combust.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. You can't really dust for vomit.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys again for coming and do this. And I'll try to piece this together and make it as presentable as possible. And I'll have this thing, this thing up, and hopefully it'll sound all right and everything. But thanks again. And
Yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Greg.
Absolutely, man. It's my pleasure, dude. Honestly, to have a couple great cats like you guys come and do the show. It's always, it makes this so much more fun, to have good guys that you're comfortable chatting with. And like I said, it's great that you guys have a killer album too. And I hope everybody enjoys it. Please, folks, if you're listening to this, go check out Gallowglass Scourge, their title or their debut album, Silence. You can listen to it on all streaming platforms. You can also hit those guys up. What is it? gallowglass.scourge@gmail.com to get yourself a hard copy. Correct? They can pick you up for a hard copy, or go to a Hex Vortices show on February 12th and bug them about how cool this album is, and that you want to go to their car and grab one out of their back seat, because they're going to be having them in their pockets. Like, hey, man, have you had a chance to check this out? Hey, man, if you like this, here, check this out. Let me get you one of these. Remember, we had a beer back in like '88.
The funny thing, Greg, is I do have both Hex Vortices titles in my trunk.
Well, I mean, how would you not be a DIY, guy, a self-starter type of guy, if you didn't have
nowadays
your material or a sticker or something? Speaking of which, hold on a second. These stickers were so awesome, Tom, that I really didn't want to put it anywhere. Plus, they're like gigantic too.
I'm intrigued.
But I got that one.
Oh
yeah. See, I got it, and it is absolute. There's nothing. It is spotless. It's like it's been with me for 2 moves already, in like a bunch of different boxes, and I was going through a bunch of shit, and I go, oh, this is awesome. But I don't want to waste it on anything. I want to have it to, when I get so, like, how you have like a sticker fridge or something like that. The fridge I have, I put stickers. See, if I would have had this sticker when I got the fridge, this one would have been the center sticker, and everybody else would have been around it. So,
nice. You know what's cool about that, Greg? Take a look at it close.
Yeah,
that's hand drawn.
No shit.
Yeah, you can see if you look close, you can see the sketch marks.
Oh, you totally can on the top.
Yeah, that's hand drawn, man. Colored pencil.
Wow. Oh, did you? Oh, look right there on the bottom on the R. You can totally see that right there in the corner.
Yeah. It was right out of the hospital.
Did you hand draw that?
I hand drew it. Yeah, I designed logos.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's some dedication right there. How
saves money.
How crampy did your hand get for that one?
Well, in 2015, that's when I drew the logo. I got really sick. I was hospitalized.
Yeah.
Went septic. So I had all these antibiotics. I had 3 IV ports.
I remember that.
And I'm trying to draw it, and my hands I was like Ozzy Osbourne.
On the bottom of that R, you can see it. It goes straight, and then it goes like you were.
Oh, yeah, thanks for noticing.
Are you kidding?
That makes sense, though. That makes sense.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'm going to get you guys out of here. Thank you very much for doing the show. I appreciate it so much. I'm going to play the tune so we can record it on here, and then I'll.
Ritual Madness Podcast. Ritual Madness.